Is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Thursday night, 6 o'clock, and ready to talk some birds. That's right, both birds. Tonight, we're getting into it, the top 10 matchups, but before we do that, I will let you know the injury report from today, the practice report, letting you know who is out already and who is possibly out, all that good stuff. We'll get into the stats and the rankings for both teams, their standings in the conference and division. So let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. But I thank you for taking the time. If you're watching this live, later, whenever it is, truly appreciate you. And if you have any questions, any comments, you know they are always welcome. So feel free to leave them down below. But let's jump right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this Week 5 matchups. And look, at State Farm Stadium, going on the road, 425 matchup. Look, I really think that, this team, we are hungry, and it's going to be hard to stop us. But this Arizona Cardinals team, they've got a lot of talent. So we are going to talk about that, how we can attack them. Let's go. So first up, we're going to start with the injury report. And again, it took a little bit after 5 until the Cardinals dropped theirs. Somebody in the chat yesterday, with yesterday's video, was trying to tell me that the injury report was out, but yeah, I'm following all the Cardinals people, and trust me, it was not out. And again, today, not until 5 something. But luckily, we had the show at 6, so we're going to get into it. Love busting the chops of other teams, though. So get on it, Cardinals. Get on it. Now, first up, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles. We've got a lot of injuries that we are, obviously very concerned about. We already know. You guys saw the video from earlier. I'll pin it in the comments in case you didn't. But Jake Elliott has already been listed as out, so Cameron Dicker will be taking over as the kicker. Unfortunate. Hopefully we don't have to kick too many field goals, and the dude's got a bomb, so maybe it'll be a nice blessing in disguise for him to just bomb it. No Eno Benjamin. Now, Patrick Johnson still out with that concussion. Avonte Maddox dealing with that ankle issue, still out, and Jordan Mailata also did not practice today. So unfortunate news. We know Dillard was there, but he's still on IR, so he's not on the list. But he was obviously in a limited fashion trying to come off that 21-day window there. So he is designated for a return. We'll see when he is able to come back, but looks like Jack Driscoll could be taken over at left tackle. Now, limited today, Kyron Johnson was able to actually practice a little bit, so that's a positive. He did not practice yesterday. And then limited again today was Boston Scott and Isaac Seumalo. Hopefully, nothing serious there, and they both can play. It would be nice to have Boston Scott back, but Trey Sermon looked pretty good last week. Darius Slay, full participant, so hopefully he will be healthy, good to go. Now, the list looks a lot bigger when you look at it on the Eagles, website, but this is just a list of the guys that are resting. So there is no injury. They are just, veterans, or they were dealing with an injury. So look, nothing serious here for any of these guys, but Bradbury, Brown, Cox, Dickerson, Graham, Johnson, Kelsey, and Sweat all limited today, getting some rest. So no big deal there, but hopefully they get healthy, good to go for this week. Now on to the Cardinals. They've got quite an injury list here. So did not practice backup Max Garcia, but then you've got starting center Rodney Hudson, left guard Justin Pugh didn't practice. You've got nose tackle Rashard Lawrence, Matt Prater, their kicker, is probably going to miss this game. Nick Vigil was out. That's a big loss for them. He actually took Isaiah Simmons' job, so we'll see how that works out. He got hurt and only played a few snaps last week. J.J. Watt was out with a calf injury yesterday, but apparently something was going on with his heart last week, so hopefully he's all right there. But they said just some rest today, I guess. So, I guess he's all right everywhere else. We'll see. And then Max Williams, their tight end, he was also a non-participant. Limited was Marquise Brown, Zaven Collins, A.J. Green, D.J. Humphries, and they added Rondale Moore and Trayvon Mullen today. Ezekiel Turner was on there yesterday. So dealing with a plethora of injuries are the Cardinals. So hopefully they can be healthy. Don't want to hear any excuses, and I want to beat every team at their best. So I'm hoping all those guys can get to full health, but it doesn't look like Matt Prater is going to be ready. They signed Matt Amendola to the practice squad, as you guys heard me say yesterday. So look, we're both missing our kickers, but hopefully their whole damn line was banged up. I mean, almost like their center, their guard. I mean, so even their left tackle was limited. So not good news for them, but we'll definitely stay on it tomorrow. We'll get the status report, so we'll know if anyone's questionable or listed out already. So definitely keep you up to date with that. Let's get into how these teams are looking so far this year. 4 games into it, we'll take a look at their stats and how that ranks throughout the NFL. Let's look at the Eagles first. Dominating, only undefeated team, 4-0, putting up 28.8 points per game. That's 4th in league. We're 2nd in total yards, 6th in the pass, 5th in the run. What a great team this has been. Not giving up, interceptions or fumbles. Tied for 1st in fumbles and turnovers, but in the sack department, offensive line could clean it up, obviously dealing with some injuries and things like that, but 2.3 per game, don't like to see that. Now this defense coming out, whooping, oh man, they're looking good, man. Tied for 9th in points per game, but total yards per game, 3rd. Passing, 7th, 9th in rushing, 1st in sacks per game, 4 per game. You love to see that. 1.3 interceptions per game, gets them tied for 7th. 1.3 fumbles recovered per game. That's 2nd. That's pretty damn good. And then 1st, tied, obviously, in total turnovers there. So this team, man, they are rolling. Now, the Cardinals, you cannot say the same thing. These guys have definitely been struggling middle of the pack on offense there, but not giving the ball up. So that is good news for them. They're definitely going to want to clean things up against this team because we will be coming for that ball. Then on defense, you see these guys where they really are good at is against the run here. But I think, I don't care. Obviously, just like I said against Jacksonville last week, don't care if you think you're good against the run. You're not going to be against us. So keep pounding that rock right down their throats. They are last in the league in sacks. So this offensive line, time to dominate, clean up, not giving up any sacks, no pressures. Let's go. Definitely not getting many interceptions, but getting some fumbles, middle of the pack there for turnovers. So you see how these teams are faring. And I'll tell you what, obviously, most people thought the Cardinals would be doing a lot better than they are, but only 4 games into the season. So a long season ahead of us. We'll see where they end up, but you see how they look right now. Let's take a look at how that puts them in their division. And we'll look at the Eagles as well, obviously, and then the NFC as a whole. So the Eagles right now, obviously the first of their division, 4-0. You got the Cowboys and Giants trailing right behind us with only 1 loss apiece. And then, of course, the lowly Commanders down there at the bottom at 1-3. And then in the NFC West, you've got the 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals all at 2-2. Cardinals sitting at the bottom there. So looking for a win desperately here. They do not want to be looking up there in that division. So it's going to be one of the closest races, definitely for sure. And then you see in the NFC, obviously we're atop the NFL, but number 1 in the NFC, and then the Cardinals, number 12, they're at 2-2. So again, 4 games into the season, so you can read into that as much as you would like, but both of these teams are hungry. Obviously, the Eagles are just out 1 week at a time to come out, punch people right in the face, and go 1-0 each week. What's going on, my man Jadis? Hope you're doing well, dude. Getting ready to go through this top 10. Just went through the injury report. Now we went through the stats, the conference standings, all that great stuff. But right now begins the top 10. And, this is definitely a matchup. I think, you guys know how I feel about this Eagles team. Most of the time I'm going to be saying we're going to be winning this game. But look, they've got a lot of talent, and they've been starting off slow each game. But these are fast-paced teams, both really fast offenses. I believe they are number 1 in plays per game at like 73 per game, and we're somewhere at like 71.3, I want to say. We're like 5th in plays run per game. So I think that you're going to see a lot of scoring, hopefully, on our end, but hopefully a lot of turnovers and missed kicks on their part, so not a lot of points. But I think, it's an exciting team. They've got a lot of talent, but a lot of injuries. So we'll see what receivers are even able to play. We talked about DeAndre Hopkins on suspension, so that's huge for them. Obviously, nobody wants, them to be out. But that's good for us. So let's get right into this. And obviously that stuff's going to kind of bleed into when we talk about these matchups, all the injuries and things like that. But if you have any questions or comments, you can throw them my way. But let's jump right into this. And this is no specific order. Just go through the Eagles offense, defense, and special teams if necessary. But going through, looking at the top 10 matchups to keep our eyes on. Let me know how you feel about it. Who are some of your top matchups to look out for? For me, obviously, Jalen Hurts, leader of this offense. And then Zaven Collins actually played quarterback back in the day. He is somebody that I could see trying to spy Jalen Hurts. He is going to be the quarterback of that defense, and he's going to have to do all he possibly can. We'll see if Nick Vigil is able to play here, if it's Isaiah Simmons, whatever it may be. But this dude is going to have to do his best to stop Jalen Hurts, the run, all of it, the pass. So he is going to have his hands full from the tight end to everything going on there, man. So that's going to be very fun. I think Jalen Hurts is going to continue to show that he is MVP caliber, and he's just going to continue to dominate. So best of luck to him. Now, as I said earlier, run the damn ball. Give Miles Sanders that ball. Keep running it down their throats. Nick Vigil, again, not sure if he's going to be playing, but hey, they brought him in. He took the job from Isaiah Simmons. This dude, he's a tough-nosed dude. And I think, tackling machine, they lost Jordan Hicks. So best of luck to you. But I know they're decent against the run, fifth there, whatever it was, 87-yard game, per game, whatever it was. I don't care. Again, run the ball down their throat, whether it's Miles, Boston and Trey getting theirs, Kenny, don't care, but give Booby 20, 25 plus again, run that ball right down their damn throats. And then at wide receiver, pick your poison, 1A, 1B, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Marco Wilson and Troy Murphy Jr. are going to have their damn hands full. This is going to be very, I would have a lot of empty set. I'll be real with you. I think it's going to be Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal out there too. I think you can really attack these guys. Don't really have much of a nickel corner. They're dealing with some injuries there to Trayvon Mullen. They brought back Chris Banjo in the safety position. So, they are really struggling. They brought some guys in for workouts, but they are really banged up there. So attack them in the air, run the ball, do whatever you got to do. And in the air as well, Dallas Goedert, as I had mentioned, these guys have been struggling, covering tight ends. And I think that Isaiah Simmons, maybe will need to be deployed, not just because of Nick Vigil's injury, but because of the fact that a little more athletic, maybe he can help try to shut down Dallas Goedert for the Arizona Cardinals. But I think you attack that, whoever the hell is there. And I think we're going to see a lot of yards, a lot of points. I'm going to be betting high on the overs for this game. I'm excited about it. And then J.J. Watt, man, he is their defensive line. They've got some talented guys there, but he's going to move all around. This dude, jack of all trades, you can have him at any damn technique. He is literally a freak of nature. I wouldn't put him at 0-1, anything like that, but you know what I mean? He can line up all over the place. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 technique. I love this dude, but he's getting older, dealing with injuries. Obviously, we talked about the heart, the calf that he's dealing with there, but hopefully he is healthy, good to go for this game. But going to be fun to see where they line him up. Lane Johnson, obviously, he can handle him. But Jack Driscoll, will they try to attack him? Sayamalu, I believe, will be good. But if he goes out, Opeta comes in. Landon Dickerson, how is he doing? Will he go out? So they're going to be enforcing J.J. Watt all over the field, and I'm excited to see how they use him against this Eagles offensive line. What is going on, my man Anthony in the building? What's going on, dude? Hopefully you're having yourself a great Thursday night. Going through these top 10 matchups. Got through the offense. Now we're going to get through the next 5 defensive. Look, man, this is going to be fun to talk about in a second. Am I worried about J.J. Watt? No, I'm not, man. They're going to try to move them all around, but this is one of the best, my opinion, the best offensive line in the game. Had some issues here to start the year, but injuries and things like that. Look, I'm not worried about it at all. What is going on, my man David in the building? Hope you are doing well. Also, if you guys have any thoughts on these matchups, went through the offense, let me hear it. But now we're going through the defense. Now, our leader on defense, TJ Edwards, man, he has been balling this year, and it has been beautiful to see. And then on the offensive side of the ball for the Cardinals, man, Kyler Murray has really been struggling, but we know how talented this dude is. He can kill you with his legs. So maybe we use Kaiser to spy him, but I think TJ Edwards, obviously with that green dot, he's going to be in control of the defense, the quarterback of the defense, and he is going to have to do all he can to make sure pre-snap he is ready for what Kyler Murray is going to try to bring. But I think we will be just fine in that department. Now, one of the key weapons they're going to try to use against us is obviously ex-Eagle Zach Ertz, who we all love. But yeah, not on Sunday. I'll be real with you. It's time to lose. And Kaiser White has been phenomenal for the Eagles, especially in coverage. And I think he's going to have a tough matchup, obviously, but it's going to be a really fun one to watch. And I'm hopeful that he can shut Zach Ertz down. Obviously, a little bit of help from the safeties there and Gardner Johnson and Epps and the corners and whatever else kind of defense you're playing. It's all dependent on that. But for the sake of the show, we're talking about matchups. So excited to see if we can shut him down. Really think we can. Going to be exciting to go into Arizona and whoop some ass. And then Marquise Brown. Look, Rondale Moore, Marquise Brown, AJ Green, they're all banged up. I think they might be able to play, though. I don't know, though. Marquise Brown is the only one that scares me. And then on the Eagles side of the ball, we also don't know. So Darius Slay has been a full participant, but just like I talked about last week, why I wanted Josiah Scott to start at nickel corner, because Zach McPherson, you needed to be ready just in case he had to play outside. Sure enough, that is exactly what happened. So I'm not sure. Josiah Scott, again, if Avonte Maddox is not ready, unless you think Zach would do better in there. I thought Josiah had some good plays, obviously some missed plays, but the sloppy weather and getting thrown in the fire, I mean, it is what it is, man. We'll see what we do there, though, but we'll keep our eye and we'll see how this Eagles secondary is used to shut down Hollywood Brown. And then at number 9, this one might seem intriguing to you. Not really a matchup here, but James Conner. He has not been able to get anything going this year, and they're going to try to pound the rock with this dude. As I had mentioned earlier, they have trailed in most games to start, just getting behind quickly. I think, obviously they would love to get the run game started, but they haven't been able to. So they're going to try to do that. This is the time to give me some Jordan Davis, baby. I know he's playing around 30% snaps, and that's okay. You've got Hargrave and Cox killing it. Milton Williams is there. Marlon Tuipulotu. I love all these guys. So he's a young man. He's learning. He's getting his reps. He's getting, dude, up to par with everything. And I'm just in love with his defense, and I love what they're doing here. So I'm okay with 30% snaps. Maybe we see 40 this week, though. Get him in there. Make sure this bruiser is not coming through the middle, because they're going to try to get him going. Let's shut him down. Let's see a bunch of Jordan Davis. But yes, you are going to see a bunch of this D-line doing a lot of special things this week, I do believe. So at number 10, I put the D-line. And look, there was almost Beachum versus Reddick, and I think Reddick is going to feast, whether it's Humphreys and it could be Sweat, doesn't matter. But Beachum and Humphreys, they're going to have their hands full. And then you look interior, they're going to have their hands full. We talked about Will Hernandez having to come in. We all remember him from the Giants. So Cox and Hargrave, everybody's going to feast. So I couldn't pinpoint it, man. This is just too good of a defensive line. I could not pick one. I really think it's pick your poison, man. And that's awesome that we actually have a great rotation, just everything. And look, Hassan Reddick's backups were dealing with some injuries. We know Kyron Johnson was able to be limited today, but Patrick Johnson's still out. So maybe we get to see some of the rookie, for a few snaps as depth. But yeah, really excited about these matchups here. And then as an honorable mention, as I said earlier in the show, with the kicker we have now, Cameron Dicker, he has a boot on him. Definitely struggles with accuracy, but on kickoffs, maybe we don't kick it to Eno Benjamin. This dude is a playmaker. And the reason I didn't just put Cameron Dicker versus Eno Benjamin, and I almost did put Dicker the kicker, but I wanted to include the defense, because I think one of the things the Cardinals are going to try to do this week is give him the ball out of the backfield. Pass him the ball with Kyler Murray. Obviously, he's got that kind of skill set, a little scat back, and I really think they're going to try to use him a lot in this game. So we got to watch out for him on our defense and special teams. I think this dude could be that little hidden gem they're going to try to bring out on us. And look, shut him down. I'm sure the Eagles are very aware of these things, but just wanted to pinpoint that. No, I do not, my man. As always on game day, say 30-22, 30-19. Oh, close game, he is saying. If you guys want to give me your final scores, feel free to do so. You have any thoughts on this video, you can leave your thoughts down below, but I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. That's all I've got for you. But if you need anything, you can always reach out to me, whether to talk about birds, life, whatever it is. Always here for you, as you guys are for me. But thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for all of your support. Hope you guys are all having a great night. But until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!